like that. The car sounds.
Yeah. Dude.
Hell yeah. It adds
Ambiance.
yeah.
Ambiance, dude.
Authenticity
Oh, so we're live right
for
now.
this shit. Yeah, I just turned it live.
Let me
yeah.
host you right now.
Keep changing the scene. Yay, Tony is hosting.
This looks good, man.
Now live sound test. Oh fuck, I didn't change the title. I'll change it. Don't know about that. Hey, Sandless Apprentice. Hey, this is pre-sound check. Can you guys confirm to me that it sounds good before I go actual live? Woo. Woo. Actually, let me get that. What does Tony sound like? Sounds he has a very deep voice.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hey, 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 hey. Can you guys hear me? One's in the chat. One's in the
Let me
chat.
check the audio really quick. Hopefully there's not like a lot of noise and wind. This is the first time we're doing this outside. Let me know if any of us needs to be re-leveled. I feel like my mic is a little low. Tony sounds good. Testing.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey, hey.
There's a bit of a delay, so I have to wait for the audio to kind of catch up. It's kind of cool that you can hear the honking in the cars and stuff.
It's cool. I like
That's
that.
so cool.
I like that, yeah. It really gives that outside vibe.
Yeah. It looks cool. I have like palm trees and shit in the back. It's so tight.
It's tight, dude.
I'm impressed. Whoa. Nice. Okay. Hey, the mic input gain sounds good, but the stream output level could be a little bit louder. Okay. Okay, I turned it up just a smudge, evenly. VI6NNA just followed. Vienna.
Vienna.
Vienna's in here.
Hey. Hello, hello.
How was that? Does it sound good? B Platinum, dude, I love your hat. Hey, Mike, in the chat. Hey, guys. Okay, right now, we're doing a little sound check before the actual stream starts. I just want to make sure everything's good. I don't have the blurry scene going on right now because
What's the blurry scene?
it's basically the same scene as this, but it's blurry. So
Are
it's
you
just
like
to
blurring the
indicate-
background?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't have that plugin on
see.
my server because it messes up other stuff, I think. So yeah, it looks and sounds great. Are these the shotguns or louds? These are the shotgun mics. I could not secure another set of lavalier mics.
Yeah, you know what? Lavs might be a good choice too.
Yeah.
But what was Chad saying? Like lavs? I mean, the shotgun was a little bit better.
I think the shotgun sounds better. The lavs are probably easier to work with in this situation.
Yeah.
But it's just that I don't have another set of lavalier mics.
I see.
I have like a 2-to-1 lavalier setup, but the switcher requires 2 inputs, and that one mixes it to 1. So
I see.
that means I just have to buy like another set of lavs. LJ is in here.
What's up, LJ?
I like Tony's BG.
It's because that's LJ's work right there.
Right? I wanted to get that in the back. The switching looks good, right?
Yeah, switching's. Yeah, this is great.
The camera switching is on. Yeah, the camera switching is automatic. Okay, cool. All right, let's get a little warm up here. We're just starting right now. I just wanted to make sure all the audios and the switching and all this other stuff is good before we actually started. And actually, Tony, you didn't get a drink from here. Do you want a drink?
Sure.
buy you a drink.
No, I mean, yeah, I can get one.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy Tony a drink so you guys can stay here. I'm gonna leave the stream on for a little bit. Just watch nothing for a little bit. Hopefully no one steals our shit. I have all our phones and stuff. Right here. And my wallet. The car keys. we're ready to go. Hey, I have a coffee. I also bought whatever this is. Strawberry something something. We have some beverages to kind of give the tension of doing a podcast. Hey, chat. Welcome everyone. Hey.
Yo.
Damn, this is crazy. You know, it was always my dream, not my dream, but my vision to take this podcast outside. So I'm very fortunate to have Tony K Films to help us do it like this. So crazy.
I'm happy to help, man. I'm happy
Yeah.
to help. I'm glad I was, I was glad me and LJ were able to help you, achieve your dreams, in small ways.
Yeah, I'm so ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic because have you ever watched like Jerry Seinfeld's
Yeah, comedians in cars.
Yeah, that's what I want, but for
Yeah.
like streamers.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
I
want.
like that format where you're like, you're able to kind of like walk and talk, because I think there's something special about like walking and talking, because you're kind of you can really get into your subconscious and really talk about a lot more deeper things while you're kind of doing something
Something active.
Like
Really?
for me, I tend to get a lot of my ideas while I'm driving.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes I just like to drive, just go out and just drive.
Is that when
think
you're
of
like
ideas.
most creative?
I feel like it is. That's where like a lot of my ideas kind of spawn from. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself like a creative person or a technical person? Or is there even a definitive difference between the two? Are they the same
I think it's
thing?
like half and half.
Half and half?
Yeah, because
Really?
I mean, I can be creative when I try, but like I love technology too.
Yeah?
I've always been like into tech and just breaking things apart and putting it back together. Yeah.
I'm an engineer.
Wait,
know
like
that?
what kind of engineer?
Electrical and computer
Oh, really?
engineering
Oh,
technology.
is
I
that what you went to
graduated.
school for?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, I didn't
And
know
now
that.
I do this. I do this.
Yeah, no,
I, could
I
be
mean,
making
that's-
so much- I'm just kidding.
No, this is great. I mean, like as long as you love what you're doing,
Yeah, this is super fun.
I think
but,
that's
yeah.
that's best.
I'm just not making enough money.
It's hard, man. It's hard to make money off your art,
It's the only thing. Okay, anyways, guys, chat. If you guys don't know, my guest today is legend, filmmaker Tony K Films. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you,
welcome.
thank
He
you.
really wanted to be on the podcast. I also really wanted him to be on the podcast too.
Thank you
He
again.
has many notorieties. Mainly these days, he's doing the Fun with Dumb podcast.
Well,
and-
not. I did.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I
Okay.
did. Now they're self-sufficient.
Oh, okay.
Now
he
they're
launched it. He launched
now they're
it.
doing it on their own.
Okay, okay.
He took the the training wheels off.
Okay,
Now
gotcha.
they're doing it on their own.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And then you own a streaming company called Stream Sauce.
Yep. Yeah. So Stream Sauce is a live streaming production company started by myself and LJ.
Yeah.
LJ looks young in the chat.
Oh, is he in the chat too? LJ.
Yeah, LJ's in the chat. I saw him.
Okay. Hey, can we get a shout out to LJ?
And yeah, we're both filmmakers. Yeah, who come from the production world and just kind of decided to start a live streaming production service company. I don't want to say service. I mean, who knows where it's gonna go in the next 2 to 5 years, but right now we're doing like a lot of live streaming production services.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about that kind of later on in the podcast.
Yeah,
so
for
we'll
sure.
bring up Stream Sauce and we'll bring up all of his recent works. But just to let you guys know kind of what Tony has been up to in his life, I pull up his IMDb. I'm just kidding, I didn't pull up his IMDb. I just went to his website and it looks like mostly you only put like music videos on your website.
Yeah,
Like
so
heavily music videos. So amongst the music videos, we have Sean Wasabi Snack, Dumbfounded Wash, Tiffany Young 2019, Aquafina X Margaret Tro, another Tiffany Young, Duckworth Fies, Dumbfounded Again, and Conus and Crazy Boy.
yeah.
And you did Andy Milonakis' music video,
Yeah,
too.
that was the El Chapo music video
Yeah.
that was with Greek and Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a super random thing.
Really?
Like, yeah, funny story about that. So, I've known Andy here and there for a cool minute, and you know, we just got lunch together one day, and he had like music that he was making with Greek, and you know, I was just asking him. I was like, hey, like, you got any, you know, things going on? He's like, yeah, I got some music. And I was like, yeah, you know, we should work on something. We should totally work on something. Like, I'm kind of free right now, and I just kind of want to do something. And we decided to shoot that music video the very next day.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a 24-hour kind of thing?
Yeah, the very next day.
Holy.
And because Greek was in town, so
In LA.
Yeah, he was in LA. So
This is when he was residing in Texas at the time? You don't
I
remember?
think he was like visiting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or he was making that move.
Uh,
So we decided to just kind of go around Cape Town and shoot some performance scenes, and I literally edited that video in like one night too.
Holy crap.
And then it just kind of blew up from there, and it's such a trip seeing that my work being streamed on other, like, when it came out, like, all these big streamers were doing react to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just
Oh, that's
funny.
cool.
It was just funny watching that, like, seeing all these streamers that I watch my work on their stream.
So that was around the time when Andy was streaming, right, on Twitch, and then was he
Yeah.
doing IRL streaming too?
Yeah,
at that time?
yeah. That wasn't even that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, that
How-
was maybe like 2 years ago. Or
Really?
something. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't even that long
Yeah.
ago. Oh shoot.
Yeah.
It seems like so long ago.
Nah, it was. Yeah, it seemed like pretty long ago, but yeah. Shout out to Andy and Greg.
Yeah. Shout out to Andy. Wow. Other
Oh
IRL
shit,
streamers.
Cherry. What's up, Cherry?
Cherry's in the chat?
Yeah.
Hey, Cherry. Oh, yeah, by the way, before I forget, we are here at Cafe
Coffee MCO.
I don't know if it's MCO or MCO.
It's MCO.
MCO.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coffee MCO for letting us do this here. So they told me to promote them for allowing us to do this here. Of course, I'll give as many promotions as they want. So all
Yeah.
of you guys in the chat are obligated to come here and buy at least
Shout out
one
to
drink.
Mike and Joe.
Yeah, use our coupon code JohnSFM for 0% off on all drinks. And also, okay, so I'm streaming this outside here in the wild. This is what we wanted to do. If you hear any cars rolling by, that's real cars.
That's
If you
real
hear any
cars.
helicopters, they're probably looking for some kind of, you know, a bad guy on the loose or something like that.
It's not a
We
simulation,
literally
guys.
yeah, this is real life happening. I wanted to bring this in the IRL setting. Yeah. Okay. Just to get that out of the way. Okay. So now that we have all the formalities, we know who Tony is, and I introduced the cafe. I think that's all that was left in the introduction. Let's start at the beginning with before Tony. Let's introduce him before he became who he is now, and where are you originally from? Let's talk about baby Tony,
Yeah.
your upbringings, and how you got into filmmaking or whatever the steps is that you got into where you are now.
So I am an LA native. I grew born and raised
Really?
in the Valley in North
Oh.
Hollywood.
You've been here your whole life?
Yeah, I've been here all my
you
life.
never like moved?
I moved to
away or-
I lived in K Town for like a year when I was in high school. But that's
Good.
about it. But I used to come out here a lot because I had a lot of friends out here, so a lot of back and forth. But yeah, basically grew up in the Valley, and I think what really started my creative journey is I got into DJing.
Oh,
Yeah, I got into
what kind of DJ?
I got into DJing when I was in ninth grade,
Ninth
and I remember specifically begging my mom, I want to buy a turntable set with a mixer. Please get it for me.
Which one did you get?
I got the Techniques.
Dang,
The
isn't
tw-
that
the-
expensive?
The 1200s. At the times, it was expensive. So my aunt bought me my first set, and it was like $1,500. And I started to what started that was
Woo! Wait, let's wait for this motorcycle to try. Hey, they have like a, what is that?
it's a real
A
motorcycle.
Harley. A Harley outside. That is real life effects. Apologize if there's any like audio like that affects the podcast. But anyways, okay.
So
During the DJing.
yeah, one of my high school buddies got me into like underground hip hop. That was like my first taste of like actual real hip hop, and I don't know. I always wanted to do something behind the scenes, right? So, what better way to kind of get into? What better way to get into like the music scene, you know? Like with DJing, you know? So I got into like scratching and like spinning beats for my friends like every day, like not every day, but like almost every day. A couple of my homies would like pull up to my pad and they just like freestyle while I spun like instrumentals and scratching.
Okay.
And then that kind of started we started a hip hop crew from that.
Really?
Yeah, so we would like record on my computer, my shitty ass like computer.
Huh.
Damn, I remember those computers where they had like fucking like 256 kilobits of RAM and shit. It was fucking
I actually
crazy.
like that.
Like 800 megahertz like
Yeah,
fucking processor. It was
HP Pavilion?
yeah, I had a Dell.
Windows XP?
I had a Dell, yeah. So we would record at my house, and then we kind of started a hip hop crew together.
What was the name of your crew?
Illcentrics.
Was it like spelled weird? Like a misspelled?
Nah, it was just like
just
ILL and then Centrics
Centrics,
with
okay.
a C. But yeah, you know, like it was me, the DJ, a producer, the producer Crisper, my homie True, my homie Absence, and my homie Moxie. So
That's a lot.
it was them three, the rappers, the producer, and me as the DJ. So it kind of got serious. Like we started doing shows. What
was their first show?
I think it was in Malibu actually.
Really?
It was at this like bar, and
Was it a big,
it was like
big
a hot,
venue?
no, not too big of a venue. It
Was
was
there a
probably
stage?
like as big as this, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a stage and all that stuff, and it was our very first show. And you know, us being like ninth and 10th graders doing this already, it just kind of blew my mind. Like now that I think about it.
Would you guys have done that legally? That's like, you guys are underage at the time, right? Ninth grade?
Well, we like. We just hustled, you know.
Okay.
We were just like, they just fronted us tickets, and we're just like, all right, we got to
Okay.
sell these tickets to make some money. And so, you know, that was
How
our
many
first
people
show.
showed up?
You know, a good amount of people showed up.
Really?
We really like promoted it to our friends and like made sure they came, and you know, it was fun. It was like a Halloween show.
So were people dressed up too?
Yeah, a little
Did you guys
bit.
dress up? You guys were the Ghostbusters?
No, I don't think I. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe we did. I don't remember, but I think we did. But it was such a blur. But
Okay.
but yeah, that was fun. We did that for a little bit, and you know, me being a DJ, I started going to like a lot of these shows and just like really trying to meet with promoters and artists.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how I got started with like really flexing my networking muscle,
Okay.
I guess. And so,
That's like your entry into the entertainment.
yeah, that was kind of my entry to the entertainment world. And then that kind of like helped me kind of explore different groups of, I didn't want to be bound to just DJing for my homies, you know.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to kind of explore outside of that. So one of my homies, Furris, he invited me to this open mic workshop that happened like every weekend in K-Town,
Oh, okay.
and it was called Jikun Flow.
Oh,
and-
I've seen those on YouTube.
Yeah, so he'd hit me up like, hey, like, you know, I forgot how I met him, but it was through mutual friends. But he would invite me over. He's like, yo, let's like, we need a DJ to spin some music. Like, are you down? Like, while we rap and shit. I was like, all right, cool. Like, and it was like really like my first time kind of connecting with a lot of Koreans, because
Oh, really?
me growing up in the valley, like, I always grew up around like Filipinos, Hispanics, black people, all kinds of people except Koreans. Like, I was always like the only Korean.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was interesting to like really kind of hang out with other Koreans, and that's where I met Dumbfounded.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've known Dumb since high school. Yeah.
Ah.
That's how me and him started kind of developing our relationship and whatnot.
Was that kind of at the time where he was doing the battle rapping and stuff?
Way before that.
Way before
Even
that.
way before
Wow.
that. Yeah.
'Cause
this
I-
was when he was just he barely put out his first track.
Gotcha.
I still have that track somewhere in one of my hard drives, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I need to find that. But that's how I got introduced to more of the Asian music scene.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I did that for a bit, and then like, I got into DJing house parties and like little small events. I did some clubs here and there. I did everything. I did, like, you know, EDM, drum and bass,
Really?
electro, house.
Was this at that Jikun Flow event?
No.
or was just, like,
This
at
was just
random
me,
clubs?
like, just kind of exploring different kinds of
Gotcha.
music and going into different kinds of genres, hanging out with different people.
Mm.
And yeah, and then I did that for a bit, and then I got into doing hip hop again.
Mm.
So, like, remember that high school band I did?
Yeah.
We had broken up after like a year and a half or something.
Okay.
And then one of my homies that was still in there, he was still rapping at the time. You know, years later, he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I don't know if you still DJ anymore, but are you down to DJ for me? I got a solo show." I was like, "All right, cool. You know, just like old times." And our first show was at the Viper Room on Melrose.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
so
Famous one.
Yeah. Like,
The guy died in there, right?
wait, what?
The same Viper Room? There's like a famous. Anyways, I thought there was a famous guy that died in there.
Probably, I would say, because a lot of rock bands went through
Yeah,
there. Like,
there-
a
that's
lot
the
of,
one.
A lot of
That's the
famous
one.
rock bands.
Yeah. This famous rock guy died in there from overdose or something. So now it's haunted or something.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Anyways, he
That's a
performed
trip.
at this haunted
Yeah.
club.
So, you know, we did that, and show was great. Like, people were fucking hyped up.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the show, my homie's like, "Yo, you want to do this again? Like, you want to start up a crew?" And I was like, "All right, fuck it," you know. And so we started up a another hip hop crew called Stay Blended Hooligans. At the time, I know, right? This was at the time when I was like smoking at my peak. Like,
Okay.
literally, I was smoking probably like 5 blunts a day or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane how much I smoked.
guys
I
became
don't
Rossed
smoke.
up for a little bit?
I don't smoke that much anymore. It's so funny because like in my head, a long time ago, I was like, oh, I'm gonna smoke forever, this and that, you know. And then I hear all the OGs like, yeah, like, oh, I can't smoke that shit anymore. It's just shit's too strong. Like I don't smoke that much anymore. I'm like, I'm never gonna be like you. And I'm here today, fucking older, like listening to those people. I'm like, damn, I can't smoke that much anymore. Like that shit's too strong. It's so funny how life works. But anyways, we did that for a bit, and we did pretty good. We opened up for like all the big rappers at the time, you know, like Ghostface, Raekwon.
Really?
We did RZA. We did like Sick Jackin.
Holy crap!
We opened up for Phife from
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest. Like we did a lot. Like it was fun. And then we broke up again. You know, like there's always band drama, whatever. But
All right. What? Where in the timeline are we on?
this
Like,
was, I
how
would
far is
say,
this now?
maybe like about 9 years into me DJing.
How old
Since
were you
high
at
school.
that time? Oh, since high school.
Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe like I was about 24.
Oh, okay.
So when we had that band, we had we had a filmer photographer doing all of our music videos and
Oh, you
photos.
guys had music videos too.
Yeah, we had music videos
Okay.
here and there, and also at the time, this was like a lot of things were happening. I was like kind of like I was getting burnt out from DJing.
Mm.
And I was like kind of moving, and also like I was going through a breakup, and yeah, just a bunch of shit.
You're in a transitional.
Yeah,
phase.
very transitional phase. So
Were you in school at the time, or were you?
no, I never went to school
You
for
never
all
went to
this
school for all
shit.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm technically a high school dropout.
Oh.
Yeah. Another funny story about that.
Okay.
Actually, I'll just fit that in right now.
Yeah,
So, I think when I was like 18, I moved around to different schools a lot because I was like a troublemaker, and my parents got divorced at the
How
time.
many schools?
I went to
did you say?
5 different schools.
Okay.
Uh,
You're finding
and
a lot?
then the final one was like, I was like, just take me to homeschool, right? And then even that, I was just like, fuck, I don't want to do this shit anymore, you know?
Alright.
Because like I have like ADHD, so like I would literally do all the homework packets like the last minute, very last minute. Like I would stay up from like 2 a.m. to like 7 a.m. and then have to go to class and like turn all that shit in.
Oh,
It was all fucking scribbles and shit. But anyways,
Okay.
and then like I was done with homeschooling, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a job. So my first job was like at Target. And then one of my friends was like, yo, you should just do this high school proficiency exam from a private school. You just pay like $200-300 and you get a diploma and you do a test. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And he's like, it's not a GED, it's like an actual high school diploma. I was like, all right, fuck it. I do it, I take the test, I pay, and then
Did you pass?
yeah, I got the diploma.
Okay.
And then, you know, while I was DJing, my friend was like at LA recording school, and he was just like, yo, you should become an engineer, like audio
Sound
engineer.
Okay.
And go to LA recording school. They give you a MacBook and this and that. I was like, all right, cool. So I go there for orientation and just to see like, you know, how cool it is. I even turned in all my paperwork, all my my diploma and shit. And this was like maybe like a few years after I took the test. And then they hit me up. They hit me up the next day. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but like your diploma isn't accredited anymore." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Anymore?
Yeah. And or not anymore. Your diploma isn't accredited at all.
Okay.
And then I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean?" And it's like, yeah, the school is non-accredited and does not exist.
Oh my god.
I got scammed, guys. I got scammed. So, yeah, that's the story of me being a high school dropout.
Oh,
I even went to
shit.
like community college with that diploma.
Yeah.
After I had gotten it, and I got like credits and all that shit. It's so funny. Anyways,
Sucks.
back to my transitional phase. You're
working at Target.
No, this was like
okay.
even
It was
after.
after that, okay.
So this was like when I was like around 24.
Got it.
23, 24, I think. I was tired of DJing. I got burnt out from the music industry.
What made you tired of DJing?
I think it was like I felt like I reached my peak.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like a plateau kind of thing?
It was a
or
plateau,
like-
and I knew my plateau. That's
How
the
did you
thing.
know? It wasn't like exciting for you
It
anymore?
wasn't
or-
exciting for me. It wasn't. I mean, it sucks
Wasn't
to say this,
fulfilling.
but it wasn't paying my bills.
Oh, that also
Obviously,
sucks. Yeah.
it wasn't as fulfilling as it was before. It wasn't fun because obviously like band drama and just having to always lug around fucking heavy ass gear everywhere.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable,
Yeah.
and like I felt like my skills weren't as good as all these newer kids were coming out. Like,
Interesting.
yeah. So at the time I was like kind of thinking like, oh, I want to do something else. And one day I was like kind of scrolling through Facebook, and my homie Furris, who was the one who brought me to Jeek and Flow,
Yeah.
because he used to be a rapper and stuff,
Okay.
and he posted up a video on Facebook of a music video that he shot and edited, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And
There's a music video of his own rapping? Or?
no, he shot his friend.
Oh, he shot his friend.
Yeah, and it was like on a shitty camcorder and all that shit. It was funny. And so I was just like, oh, like, I should hit him up, just see how he's doing, catch up. So I go over to his house, and we're just shooting the shit, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, filming and shooting and editing these things now. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was like, I could see myself doing that.
Really?
Yeah. And then just kind of one day out of the blue, I had some money saved up. So I decided to just kind of blow all my savings on camera gear. I'm the type of person that if I'm getting into something, I kind of go all out.
Yeah, you tunnel vision, right?
Yeah,
You
and
get
that's
all
like
the shit.
that's like another ADHD thing too. So like,
Is it an ADHD thing?
I think so. Because you get very hyper focused on one thing and you just like sprint, right?
Dude,
And
I do that. I don't think I have ADHD, but I also do that. Do I have
Yeah.
ADHD?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I like one night I just did mad research on camera gear, just like what to buy, how to do this, where to get it. And then actually one of my mentor who used to mentor me as a DJ,
Yeah.
he transitioned into doing film and photo too.
Okay.
So I began to talk to him, and then he had some gear to sell me, and this is kind of important piece of the story too.
Okay.
Because at the time he was working for Far East Movements company,
Oh, shit.
Transparent Arts, and so he took me under his wing and like started teaching me stuff, and he sold me all his gear, his older gear, and I spent like $3,000 on just a bunch of camera gear and lenses and mics and all that shit, right? So that's where my journey of filmmaking started. So that's I
How it
start.
is.
Yeah, I mean,
Around what time was this in
this
the
was
timeline?
when I was about 24, 25.
Oh, so it was just like a year, a couple two after the
Yeah,
DJ thing.
yeah. It was
Damn.
literally right after.
What what kind of gear got you into doing the filmmaking that you bought?
So this was
what
at the
meta
time.
at that time
This was at the time when DSLRs
they were coming out.
were they started using DSLRs as cinema cameras. Remember,
Uh-huh.
like when the whole Mark II revolution was like everyone like the
Canon.
5D, yeah, the 5D Mark
Yeah.
II, like like these big filmmakers were starting to use them as like actual cinema cameras and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I got that, and I got like a nifty 50, and then
Oh shit!
and then I was just like messing with it, and then I still remember the first day I used it, and I was with my roommate, and we're like, let's go to 7-Eleven, and I'm just gonna bring my camera out, and I was like, just shooting it, and like the whole depth of field just fucking made me cry inside. I was like, "Oh my god, this looks so dope!
Really?
I fucking love this. This is such high quality. Like, it looks so movie-like, so cinematic."
What were you recording? It was a music video or something?
No, it was just
Yeah.
us just going to 7-Eleven.
fucking around?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay.
fucking around.
Skate vids.
I feel like I still have that footage too. I need to find it.
Okay.
I have like fucking hard drives full of footage that I've saved over throughout the years. Anyways, so that's kind of where I started my filmmaking journey, and I was kind of, yeah, at the time I was just working for free. For like a whole year and a half, I was just going on set with my homie First, or my mentor Dankum,
Yeah.
and I would just work for free. Just teach me, work for free. I will do anything, as you know, as long as I learn.
What kind of projects were they doing? They're doing
Music videos,
Music
a
videos.
lot of music videos for First, and then like a lot of just like random camera work for Dankum. Music videos too, like
Yeah.
creative content. And you know, I have to thank them, you know, because they basically taught me everything I know. You know, I didn't go to school for all this shit.
Yeah.
Like it was all blood, sweat, and tears of just learning on my own, and YouTube University.
How long ago since then was that until now? So like how long have you been doing your craft?
Now it's been about 8-9 years now. So
that's a long time.
yeah, I did. Yeah, so you know, started after that. I started doing like music videos on my own. You know, photos here and there. And then kind of like my lucky break, or for me was like that next step in the filmmaking process was my mentor Dankum. He hit me up for a gig because he was busy editing for some bigger projects, and he was just like, "Hey, I got a gig for you. Are you free this month?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up? You want to go to Europe?" And I was
Oh.
like, "Oh shit! Well, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah, for my-
I've never been out the country since I was like 10. You know, the only place I went to was like Korea when I was like 10. And that was like for summer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hell yes. And he's like, "You have your passport?" I was like, hell no. And so like
You expedited
I
this thing?
expedited the shit out of that passport, dude. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go get me a fucking picture. I'm gonna go to the fucking post office, get me a passport. Literally got it that week, right? And so yeah, so I that was my first touring gig with Far East Movement.
Oh, it was a tour.
Yeah. Well, it was not a full-on back-to-back date tours, but like
Okay.
they would have shows booked pretty much every weekend.
Uh-huh.
So I'd fly out every weekend with them to go to some
Different
city.
European countries.
Europe,
Oh,
Asia,
Asia too.
all over the U.S., Canada.
Oh, sheesh. Around the world.
So I did that for almost a year
Wow.
with them. Like it was on and off, but it was just, you know, every weekend we'd kind of go somewhere. You know, sometimes even 2 cities in one weekend. You know, I remember like us going to like Florida and then flying right into Vegas to do another show. Those are wild times. Those are probably the most craziest fun times I've had.
Really?
Uh,
What was the most non-incriminating best story that you have?
Uh,
From there.
oh,
Your best
so
memory.
okay. Well, the best memory was actually that Europe trip. So I fucked up on that Europe trip already. First gig, I'm
Really?
already fucking up. So we were supposed to go to what was it? I think it was Norway.
Okay.
So we fly to Germany. We fly to Germany for a layover,
Mhm.
and then we had like a 10-hour layover or some shit, right? And then one of the backup singers was like, hey, like, you know, we're gonna be here for a while, so you want to like you want to go to the lounge and chill, eat, and sleep, whatever. And I was like, what's
Sleep
a
in the lounge?
What's a lounge?
Airport lounge?
You know the
Is that a code name for some shit?
no the lounges that the airlines offer, like if
Airport
you,
lounge.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
like a status with them,
Yeah.
you have access to it, and then
Right.
it's like a buffet, and then you know they got TVs, like all this kinds of food. It was super nice. It was my first time being in one of those, right? Because I never knew that even existed. I thought it was just the chairs at the gates and like fucking little food court, right? I was like, oh my god, I feel fucking luxurious and shit.
Oh yeah.
So we go there and I fell asleep. We both fell asleep. We fucking missed our flight
Oh
by,
my
like,
god.
15 minutes, right? Fucking running to the gate. When like it left. And so we were like, what the fuck? What do we do? So me and the backup singer, we go to the front desk and we're just like, you gotta get us on a connecting flight right now. Like we have to go.
Okay.
And the dude's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm looking and there's no flights right now. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait for a couple hours or till the next day. And she turned around to me. She's like, hold on. You gotta get us to the flight. And then the I swear the front desk guy was just like, oh my god, like just calm down, like don't worry, like let me try to figure out something and let me get back to you. Let me talk to my manager or whatever. And then he comes back like 5 minutes later. He's like, all right, so there's another flight going out in 30 minutes. You guys only need to pay $150.
Do it.
Oh my god, like that, like I don't know. I feel like somewhere up there like helped us with
Divine
that. So
intervention.
thank you, universe, for doing that. And yeah, we made it.
How
Yeah,
close were you?
and then all the guys are just like, when we got to our hotel, they're all laughing at us and shit. What were you asking?
How close were you to like when you were supposed to be there?
Well, usually you fly in a day before the show.
Yeah.
But still, like, me doing that as my first gig,
Yeah.
you know, that that doesn't really say that doesn't. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
That happened to me once. I was on
after
a-
that, I've never missed a flight.
Really?
Never late to a flight. Never missed a flight. And I'm glad it happened on that first one, just so, because I don't miss any of my other flights now.
You learned the life lesson at that time.
Yeah, definitely learn.
And it was only just like oversleeping by 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
I once misplaced my luggage on the wrong bus on the way to the airport. So it was like there's a bus that I was supposed to take to get
Yeah.
to the airport.
Okay.
So I put my luggage on that bus and it was gonna leave. Well, it was scheduled to leave in like 30 minutes. So I was like, all right, I'll grab a sandwich and I'll eat before the bus leaves. It turns out there was like an unlisted bus that left 15 minutes earlier, which is the bus that I put my luggage on. So
my
as I was
God.
eating, the bus left.
Oh
When I
my
came back,
God,
the bus
dude.
was gone. And I was like, dude, all my shit is on there and my passport and everything.
And your passport? Never leave your passport in your luggage, dude. Always have that shit with you.
Turns out the bus came back, but like 4 hours later. So I already missed my flight.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I stayed like another day. And this was a business trip too. So like my company was pretty pissed. They're like, dude,
Oh
you're supposed to come back.
no. Damn.
Damn, crazy story.
Yeah, that was I mean that first trip was very memorable because like so much shit happened that trip because I saw Paul Gasol.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Just while we're going to our flight.
Oh,
I was
shit.
like, oh shit, Paul Gasol, what's up? And he's like, hey, what's up? And like no one else noticed him. It's so
Really?
funny.
Is he,
Yeah.
like, super
it
tall?
was yeah, it was at the
Yeah.
time when he was in the Lakers too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I had met remember Asher Roth?
Yes.
I met him
his
at
name.
that show. I met Steve Aoki at that show. I met Mac Miller at that show. Yeah, I still have
Oh.
footage of all that shit too. But
Damn, crazy.
that was a fun trip. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then you know after that we're just flying all over. You know, went to like Vietnam, went to like Indonesia, Korea, Canada, all over the U.S. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun for a bit.
How long ago was that?
This
since you were doing
was like when I was like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that run, like that's when I started really doing more of my own stuff.
Mhm.
And then I would still work with Far East every now and then
Yeah.
with different things.
Gotcha.
That's how I built my relationship with them. And then, you know, I started doing my own stuff. You know, directing those music videos. Yeah, you know, doing music videos for Dumb, Aquafina, and then like Japanese artists, just like all kinds
Really?
of
Some
artists.
Japanese
Yeah,
artists
the
too?
Crazy Boy was like
Oh,
a
okay.
Japanese artist, like a really big Japanese artist. And then yeah, and then like I guess another big point in my career was I started working with Tiffany Young,
Yeah.
and that's
This was after she was in Girls' Generation. Right?
yeah. So for people who don't know, Tiffany Young is part of one of the most influential
K-pop,
K-pop
girl groups.
girl group called Girls' Generation.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty huge.
Transparent had signed her as an artist, and then one of the managers basically asked me, "Hey, like, we got a new artist that we just signed, and we want to document everything, take photos," and that's when they brought me on, and then, you know, and then I, yeah, basically worked with Tiffany for like 2 years.
Dang, 2 years.
Basically 2 years.
Uh,
You know, we did tours, we did shows, photo shoots, video shoots, and all that stuff. So, very thankful and grateful for all of that. And then,
did you get any like K-pop clout from that?
yeah, I kind
Really?
of did. You
You
know,
kinda
I
did?
mean, like both good and bad. There's a very bad side of K-pop. There's
Okay.
a good side of K-pop. There's also a bad side of K-pop. And unfortunately, when you work with someone as high profile as Tiffany, you're gonna get, both ends
Both
of the stick.
sides, yeah.
So, it was really interesting and fun. We did like 2 tours. That was like an actual tour when I was like on a tour bus.
Yeah.
Like we did like a whole month straight going
Holy crap.
all the cities in the U.S. and Canada. That was fun. Yeah, and then fast forward to now. So the way Stream Sauce started was.
Oh, so now is like when you're
Mhm.
transitioning into the streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like.
Okay.
I feel like right now is a very transitional point in my
Still.
life again,
yeah.
where I'm wanting to do something more, something different, and
You think streaming is kind of like the next frontier from where
I've
social
always thought
media
about
was?
that because I've always been like me being a filmer aside, I've always been a gamer.
Really?
I've loved gaming ever since I got my first Super Nintendo, and then getting my first PC was gaming on that shit.
Yeah.
And at the time in high school when I was DJing, I was heavy into Counter-Strike. I was
Really?
I was even in a league in Counter-Strike at the time. I was like, I don't know if you guys in chat remember, but I used to be in Cal M, which is like the mid-tier league.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I would like just kind of sub for people, get into like scrims
Off your
and whatnot.
HP Dell.
Yeah, off my Dell. Yeah, crazy. So
Yeah.
I was always into gaming, like StarCraft.
Okay.
I played Diablo
Yeah, you
2
played StarCraft.
so fucking heavy. Oh my god. Yeah. So and then I watched Justin TV back then.
Yeah.
Like little bit here and there. I never got into it like heavy, but I would watch it every now and then. I was just, this kind of
StarCraft and
Yeah,
Counter Strike were
yeah.
kind of the main
this,
content.
yeah, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then and then years after, like towards the end of my DJing, like that's when I got into like League of Legends,
Mhm.
and I by the way, like this whole Stream Sauce thing kind of pertains. This story pertains to Stream Sauce, so. I got into Twitch because of League of Legends. My roommate,
Oh, really?
my roommate got me to play League of Legends, and he's like, "Oh, you should watch people on Twitch to get better at League of Legends." I was like, "All right, cool." So my first experience with a streamer, like streamer interaction,
Yeah.
was with the streamer named Trick2G. Do you know Trick2G?
I don't
He's
know.
like he's like an OG League of Legends
Legends
streamer. And I started watching him when he had like less than 100 viewers.
Gotcha.
And just I would just interact with them, and then we kind of it's weird because like we kind of grew a friendship out of
Yeah.
that. And when I started filming and doing video, like I would offer my services to him. I'm like, hey, like if you're ever in
Oh, really?
LA, like hit me up if you need to do video,
So
photos,
did you
whatever.
do some videos with him? Like,
Yeah, so
what kind of videos?
this was like vlog type videos. So he's from Virginia, so he flew out to LA one day for this League of Legends convention called Summoners Con, and it was like super small. It was like in a hotel in Burbank, and then that's how I started getting into more of the Twitch community and learning about streaming and all that. So that's what
Gotcha.
that's what I was like that's what I was interested in at the time with filmmaking.
Filmmaking.
So it was
It
like
tied together.
it kind of
Okay.
tied together. So me and Trick, we grew our friendship, and then he started, you know, his streams got big. He was one of the biggest
Really?
League of Legends streamer.
Like how big would you say
Like,
at the time?
He was getting like 20K viewers.
Really?
You
You
know?
were working with 20K viewers?
Yeah,
streamer?
yeah, exactly.
Holy crap.
And he started bringing me to like these conventions like PAX East, TwitchCon. He took me to my first TwitchCon.
Which one was the first TwitchCon? The LA one?
It was like in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot what year, but it was in Long Beach. And then he, you know, he took me to the Twitch offices before they moved. It was like small offices. Yeah, and then that's how I got introduced to people at Twitch and whatnot. And yeah, like more people in the industry. And so, you know, I've always kind of wanted to intersect my music industry peoples with gaming industry people. You know, I've always kind of wanted to do that. And then it kind of happened, like TwitchCon in San Jose, when like, you know, the Far East people started. They showed up to
Oh, did they?
TwitchCon, and then like, cause they were working with some of the bigger people in the gaming industry, streaming industry, and then it was like that night was like when my worlds were colliding and stuff.
That's so weird.
And I was like,
Whoa.
oh, like it started kind of giving me ideas on like, oh, like where can I take my filmmaking, you
Yeah.
know? And so fast forward to now, or a year ago. So when the pandemic started,
Yeah.
when quarantine all started, like all the lockdowns were happening, I my gigs and all my jobs and gigs started to be on hold and postponed, canceled. Yeah, that first 2 weeks were super fucking rough for me. Like I you know, I even fell into like really heavy depression,
Oh,
you know,
really?
from that, because I was like kind of like what the fuck do I do? Like yeah, I was just very confused, didn't know what to do, felt hopeless, and then I started getting these phone calls out of nowhere, like, hey Tony, what's up, you busy? Like, I need help setting up my live stream.
That's the time when like everyone was like, we had to work from home, and
Exactly.
now we got to figure out how to stream.
Hey Tony, what camera do I buy for this live? Like, I want to start live streaming. Started getting a lot of these kind of calls, right? And I was like, this is it. This is my sign from the universe, you know? Like, I take that as signs from the universe. And I was like, why don't I start? I need help with this. Why don't I start small? I need to set up a team together. And then that's when I put out a post saying, hey, is anyone interested in starting a live stream team together, this and that, like I need help. LJ was the first one to hit me up. And funny thing with me and LJ, like LJ is he's a filmmaker too.
Yeah.
So he does DPing, directing, DIT. He's just like a wizard at all that shit. And we both kind of knew each other from our K-Town circle. We were very cordial, and you know, we'd always kind of say what's up to each other. And then yeah, and then he hit me up, and then we linked up, and then we're just like, I want to make a business out of it.
Yeah.
And then that's the birth of Stream Sauce.
Dang.
Like, and also shout out to Cook Sucks, because he was definitely a part of kind of helping us start that business.
Really?
You know.
Wow.
And And yeah, and then ever since that, you know, we got to work with like just right out the gate, we were already like doing like live streams for like mini concerts. We started working with Volcom.
Yeah.
We did a big live stream for Hennessy.
Oh, I
And
saw
this
that
was,
one.
yeah, and this was
Yeah.
all within a year of us starting this, which is like,
Wow.
it's still mind blowing to me that
Crazy.
we got to do all that stuff, you know. And then like, you know, that's when Dumb started streaming, and then we started a show called Dumb World, where we do it every Friday, where
Yeah.
it's just like kind of him streaming, talking.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
It was like Zo DJing.
Yeah, and then that's when I told Dom like, yo, you should live stream your podcast too. That's when we came in and we set that up for
Gotcha.
him, and then yeah, rest is history, you know, like
Jeez.
now we're just, you know, now we're still trying to keep this thing going, and you know, now that the world's kind of opening back up, and you know, we don't know where it's gonna go, you know, streaming.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think a lot of these big companies are realizing how much money they can save on production by doing
Doing it
some of,
themselves.
like live streams and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think for me, live streaming is here to stay, and definitely the pandemic normalized live streaming.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it brought it to the masses.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's where we're at now.
Dang, crazy. Hey, let's take a short pause
Yeah.
from everything that we've been talking about.
Wow.
I needed
I
to
rambled
catch
on
up
so
into
much.
the chat. Yeah. First of all, if you guys don't know, we're having a conversation with my guest today, which is Tony K Films, for everyone who's just joining in the stream.
Yo.
This is our podcast we're doing out here in this cafe, which is Cafe MCO. Let me see what happened. I got a host and a raid from Two Changs. Thank you so much
Two
for
Changs.
Two Changs.
What's up?
Due to the nature of the podcast, we can't really get into the chat as much, and I'm sorry to make people feel that
Should we
this is like a recorded thing.
Should we make this a little brighter?
Yeah, and also the light is
Yeah.
the sun's coming down a little bit, so
I'm like
let's change the
being a,
exposure a
yeah
little
yeah. I'm a
Yeah, yeah.
filmmaker, so I'm
This is
less
a
like
good-
like we need to make this brighter. We
Yeah,
need
this
to
is a
change
good
it.
time to kind of we'll
Reset.
make some adjustments
Yeah,
right now
let's reset a
before we
little.
continue the conversation. But right before I do that, I got a donation. Oh, as I was saying, we can't really talk to the chat as much since we're having this conversation. But if you guys have any burning questions, every once in a while I'll go into the chat. But the most important question that you have, feel free to donate or sub, because I'll definitely be able to see it. Nest donated $2, and he says, does the guest recall an instance where a technical issue led to a memorable improv moment? And while you answer that, I'll change the exposure.
An improv moment. I'm trying to think. We try not like. It's kind of hard to think about that. I'm sure LJ would probably remember, but improv moment.
No?
Most of the time, I would like the first thing that would come into mind is like
That's like an interview question.
when we were streaming with Dumb and something would go wrong, Dumb would just start freestyling, you know, and that's always fun. Like when Dumb started freestyling, and then he'd kind of go off the chat, and then the chat would just throw in words, and then he would just rap, and yeah, that was fun. And he's just funny. He's just a funny person in
Yeah.
general. So like he just made it very comedic. It was great.
Yeah, maybe one day we can have Dumbfound Dead on this.
Tony's
podcast
camera is
too.
focused on the drink in the foreground. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I guess the autofocus goes on to what's closest to it, and sometimes it locks on the face.
By the way, I also got 5 gifted subs from
Hey,
Gil Slayer.
Gil.
Thank you
That's
for
my
the
boy.
5 gifted subs, and thanks everyone else for the follows.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, before we go on, like, I just want to give a big shout out to my partner, LJ, because, like, without LJ, like, none of this would happen, you know? So, like,
How instrumental was LJ?
oh, dude, I'd say very huge.
Very huge.
Very huge.
Damn. LJ's ego's
Yeah.
through the roof right now.
So
Tails wagging.
shout out to
In the
LJ.
chat.
Shout out to Austin too, which is he's another partner of ours. He's the one who kind of gave us like art direction of our logo and like how our website should look. By the way, we need to update our website, so don't look at that.
How did you guys come up with the name Stream Sauce?
That's funny because like we were just brainstorming and we were just like thinking of a bunch of names and I was like at the time I think I was just like we got that sauce, you know, like and yeah, I think that was when like I was like really into hot sauces at the time and I was just like watching a lot of Hot Ones and shit, so I was just like, what about Stream Sauce, you know? And yeah, it's just kind of
What was like the runner-up name?
I
You have a
don't even
runner-up name?
remember,
You don't
dude.
remember?
But when Stream Sauce was on the table,
hit.
we're just like,
That's
that's
the
it.
one?
That's the one.
Gotcha.
That's the one. Sitting around, we're just sitting around, just yeah.
By the way, I got this weird drink.
What is that? Like kombucha?
It's called Vibes. Strawberry lavender. Mind, body, function, or whatever. By the way, just want to get some feedback from the chat. Are you guys okay with everything? Is the
Yeah.
audio okay? I know there was a helicopter that flew by and like the light kind of changed, but if everything's okay, we'll continue on. And if you guys have any other questions, I can take a
Yeah,
maybe a
LJ,
question from
what's
the chat.
what's the feedback, LJ? LJ's got a.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, man. I could go on and on about like more of my past, but I feel like that's the very good condensed version of
That's good.
where I
Yeah.
came.
That's
you know.
pretty crazy because you basically came from like music to film to streaming.
Yeah.
Which those are all kind of like very different forms of media, but streaming is such free form.
Yeah.
But in a way, like film included your music background.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
stream included both music
Exactly.
and your because right now you're doing a lot of work with musicians still with streaming.
Yeah.
Too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I feel like for me, I'm always kind of changing in what I do and what I want to do, and whatever the next step is, it's like a step, right?
Yeah.
I'm each step I'm taking, I'm learning all these different skills to get to where I want to really be at, you know? And yeah, it's just leveling up, you know?
Where do you see like your vision or your goal where you want to be at, or maybe you don't even know?
I do.
You do.
I do have a sense of what I want to do. Like, in
What's
the-
your end game?
My end game is to, you know, basically have multiple businesses. You
what
know,
kind of multiple businesses?
like a media company. You know, selling products.
What kind of products? T-shirts? Clothes?
I don't know. Just
You just want a store?
I just want to sell things.
Okay.
Whether it's film gear, whether it's food, whatever. Like
What
I
about
want yeah, even fashion, because I'm very much into fashion too. 'Cause
Really?
I shoot a lot of lookbooks too.
Really?
Yeah, fashion
For
lookbooks.
What kind of brands?
Like Conus,
Yeah,
that like
Conus.
like I did a lookbook for that's my homie's brand, and I want like I did he booked Leo and Luca Sabat, which are like super huge models now. It was crazy, but yeah, it's I love working with different kinds of formats of film. You know, like
Yeah.
I love fashion too. I love creative music. I love like
I noticed
art
you wear a
stuff.
lot of Issei brand, which
Oh.
is a brand out of Korea.
Yeah, they're my homies.
Yeah.
Shout out to TK and Kev.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a coat from them.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
a
Yeah,
winter
yeah,
coat
yeah.
that I bought because
Yeah.
they have kind of like Korean inspired tech wear.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that shit. Yeah.
Thanks,
No, those are my guys, and I love Issei.
have you ever done any work with like Korean brands or artists or anything like that? You said you're not really into the Korean scene, but
Yeah, you know, I've worked with. I mean, obviously, I worked with Tiffany Young.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of Korean rappers.
Mm.
Like I'm actually editing a music video for right now for G2 and
G2.
Juno Flow.
yeah.
They just put out a new project out, so we got a music video that we did. I haven't done a music video in a long time. That's my first one in a while.
Really? What's the
Um,
concept?
I can't tell you yet.
Oh, It's a,
Can't tell you yet.
okay.
Uh,
Creative
but,
embargo.
yeah, but you know, we're gonna be releasing that out soon. I've worked with. I've also worked with another K-pop star. His name is Lei Zhang from EXO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that. I've done some smaller work for this K-pop group named Luna. It's like a girl.
group.
It's a girl group. I've
Sounds
done
like-
yeah
okay.
that. Yeah, just you know, little things here and there. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang, Tony's famous.
Nah, not even.
Most famous.
Yeah. And, yeah, like I said, that's here I am now.
So okay, let's go back to your I guess involvement with live streaming
Yeah.
and how you want to bring your live streaming company into the world right now, because I know at this point you're still kind of we're still figuring out how things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And I guess like what type of work have you been doing right now? You mentioned that you worked with Volcom
Yeah.
and doing all these other things.
So yeah.
What's kind of like your main legs of your company?
So the main things that we do are production and consulting.
Hmm.
So consulting like with you know, we consult with companies on how to live stream, how to brand their live stream, how to run their live stream, you know, equipment consulting, like broadcasting software
Mhm.
consulting, you know, stuff like even creative stuff. Like we'll help on their creative side, and then like production. It acts like a film production, you know. We just, you know, bring in our gear, we set it up, we run the show. Yeah.
What's kind of like the scale that you typically work through? Is it like there's a big scale between like small, very
Yeah,
Live
we
productions
work.
are, like, a
It's
really
it's
huge
very
one.
wide range. You know, we do. I mean, obviously, we want to work up to the bigger scale stuff, but
yeah.
right now we do. You know, we've done a small like at-home concert for this band called Lucius. They did like a month, like a whole month weekly at-home concert
Ah.
where
Is it kind of like Tiny Desk?
yeah, kind of like Tiny
Okay.
Desk kind of setup. We did that. We did, you know, and then up to like something like Hennessy, you know.
The Hennessy one that I saw was like really high production.
Yeah, that was
Like
our,
lights in the studio
yeah,
and
that was
everything.
like our biggest one yet,
Yeah.
you know, and that's like, you know, we had Dumb Yachts, we had Henry Golding as a host, Atomic Mari, like even Jay Park was a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we weren't on that production, but we, you know, basically that was a part of the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very wide range. We even do like weird corporate gigs sometimes. Like next month we got hired to do production for this big health conference. You know,
Health conference.
yeah, it's supposedly the world's largest health conference, and
Is it a virtual conference?
well, yeah, they're gonna do virtual. So we got hired to do like the pre-recorded production for it. We were gonna do the live stream, but other things happened. But we're still working with them. So yeah, and then with like Volcom, you know, like they do their own streams sometimes, but for like the bigger streams, like their movie premieres, they hire us to do production, and we run the show. And,
Gotcha.
yeah, so we do all kinds of things. I do want to start working more with like actual streamers too, and develop original content with them too. And I mean, who knows, like if you have any like ideas, or if you want to scale this up, like we're like, that's the kind of things we want to develop and want to work on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of growing your brand. Hey, my Uber's here. Yeah, just developing your brand and just like getting more projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How many kind of I want to ask you about like how the workflow is
Okay.
for having this kind of operation going on. So what's kind of like your weekly, or like in the month maybe?
Yeah.
How many projects are you working on in the month?
You know, it varies, but like let's just say, you know, we'll have like two that we
Two projects?
really kind of focus on, like, because right now it's just me and LJ.
So your
like,
scale is kind of small. That's
it's
why.
very small, but we, you know, sometime like for the bigger stuff like the Hennessy, we definitely hire a whole production
Yeah.
crew for that. So there's that where we are able to outsource a lot of things, but for the most part it's just me and LJ, you know. But yeah.
So if it's just you and LJ, what's like the work load for both of you two? Are you guys both doing the setup and the broadcast?
Yeah. So like we'll take turns in like doing the tech, or you know, doing the meetings and business, and you know, we'll both kind of work on things together. So
Gotcha.
it's you know, it's cohesive. Sometimes, you know, I mean, just like with all business relations, sometimes we butt heads, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
it's not perfect, but we still work great with each other, and we're able to listen and understand each other and hear each other out, because that's like the most important thing is like you know, when you have a business partner, it's really like having a relationship, you know, being like like being in a relationship with the significant other, you know. You have to really learn how to work through problems without getting too emotional.
Communication.
Communication is very very big, which is a huge key.
You guys get into fights?
No, I don't
No?
think we've gotten into fights. I don't think we never get into fights. It's
Really?
more of just like, you know.
I
like-
leave a text on red.
No,
and
like we
take the time
like
off
like
the
we,
weekend.
you know, if there's an issue, we talk about it. We try to resolve it in a very
Mature way.
calmly, in gentle way, you know. Yeah.
Gotcha. Dang. And then so, the workflow again, is it kind of like I'd imagine basically what you want to do is you're trying to pick up more projects from larger companies and stuff.
Yeah.
So how does it? I guess it was kind of the Wild West when the pandemic started because a lot of
Exactly.
people were looking for companies like you, and there was not much competition, right? So would you say
Yeah,
it was easier
yeah.
for you in that sense
It
to
w-
network?
It definitely was, and I even tried looking for companies that does similar things with us, like
Yeah.
as us, but a lot of those companies are so into the TV broadcasting world that they're just way too pricey, or there was no one kind of in that middle ground,
I see.
you know, where it's like low budget, high budget, and then there's us.
Gotcha.
And I feel like, you know, at the time when we started it, we're just like, bam, we're in the right space.
Really?
Yeah. And because that's where kind of like, because once you start getting into the TV broadcasting world, you start losing that connection with the actual live streaming culture, you know?
I've heard this before. Do you think it's like if your production is too professional, the audience, the live stream audience can't connect
Yeah,
to it?
it becomes you start losing that connection
Yeah.
of, you know, of
not
it being
au-
like personable,
Authentic.
authentic. That's funny because like I just had lunch with Jake and Bake, and we're just talking about that, and I think there is a middle ground for that. It's just it still hasn't really been found or done right yet. You know,
What do you think is like?
I think this
be right.
this is perfect. Like
is.
what we're doing right now is
Are
kind
you
of
serious?
it's that middle ground. I feel like, you know.
I feel like this is a little too nice, but
Is
I don't know.
it too nice for you? I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so my thought of this production
Yeah.
that I'm doing right now is that I wanted to step up the level and see like how far can we push doing live streaming in my capacity, if that makes sense.
I see.
So it's like, you know, a lot of, especially for me as an IRL streamer, a lot of IRL streaming is like going out and eating something and like checking out an event.
Yeah.
And that's like all the content that has happened for the past years or so like that. So it's like, what is there something that I can make that still involves IRL, but is something more fulfilling, something more like meaningful in content. So that's where I came up with the concept of this. And I
see.
was really interested in the Jerry Seinfeld concept.
I see.
So that's why I wanted to adapt that.
No, and I think this is such a great idea. I love what you're doing, and that's why I was really excited to come on. And
I was excited to
you
have
know, and again, thank you for having me on. you
No,
know.
I have to thank
Yeah.
you for helping.
Yeah, I think it's still a little wild west in terms
Yeah.
with like this kind of stuff, but for me, I think in the next couple years, there's gonna be that surge of wild west again.
Yeah.
Because that's when data is gonna get faster and cheaper. Equipment is gonna get faster and cheaper,
Yeah.
and
approachable.
more portable. Oh, 1 second.
It's a UAV. AC-130.
AC-130. That's when, portability is probably the top thing on most IRL streamers' important list, right?
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
if it's portable, then they're gonna want to stream more,
Yeah.
right? So I think in the next couple years, there's gonna be a big surge of IRL streamers again, and with better gear and better connection.
Interesting.
and you know, less modems. That means less modems. That means smaller camera, you know, and
Yeah,
that
higher
also
quality.
that also means like, I mean, this could go either way, but more places being open to people live streaming at their businesses, or more open public spaces, because you know, outdoor streaming is getting more normalized, right? So I mean, we'll see where it goes, but that's how I kind of see
Where streaming is going.
where streaming's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like a lot of these camera companies are probably gonna start seeing like there's a market for live
For sure.
streamers. So like we're gonna make a camera that takes a SIM card in, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like who knows? Like they might put a SIM card in one of the
Yeah.
SIM card slots in one of these, and you can just stream directly
From your like
from
nice
your camera. Exactly.
And you don't need like an encoder. and all that
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Be
Yeah,
nice, right?
That would make your job obsolete.
Yeah, you know, and that's why like that's that's really good point, because like that's why I say like I don't know where Stream Sauce is gonna be headed towards, you know, like and we always gotta kind of be on our toes about the tech,
Right.
and where things are gonna go, and be ready to pivot, you know.
Did you hear about the Instagram announcement where they're pivoting from a photo?
Oh yeah,
film
no,
company
yeah,
to
yeah, no.
video?
I seen that
Seen that?
coming. Like
Long
I
time
seen
ago.
that coming a long time ago, because obviously TikTok is one of their biggest competitions, and then you know, just the surge of e-commerce stores. Yeah, they're turning into a video and e-commerce app now.
They're
They're
seeing
yeah.
the potential of video creation and sharing with like influencers and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And you know, for me also, that's where like e-commerce and live stream is gonna that's another thing that's gonna blow up, because that's already huge in China right now.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
so
Super
huge in China. So we actually got to do work with
There's a bus.
we actually got to do work with a live streaming e-shop e-commerce company called Pop Shop Live. We did like a live stream for them for this place called Secret Walls.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, the art-
We did
art
a
and
live
bar.
stream there.
Yeah.
We did a live stream for them, and they were selling like Mishka kind of clothes,
Oh, okay.
and like they did like a drop, and then and then we did like a live e-commerce live stream,
Wow.
you know, and that was our
Kind of
first
like
time.
a QVC.
Yeah,
thing?
kind of like that. Yeah,
That's kinda cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's like another part of live streaming that's gonna blow up in the next couple years. You know,
Have you guys done anything with gaming, or is it mostly non-gaming?
it's
related
mostly
content?
non-gaming, because like the
Have you done
game.
any gaming at all?
The only kind of gaming I did was, or not, honestly, was like when I started working with Trick2G. This was
Okay.
way before
Yeah, yeah,
Stream
yeah,
Sauce.
yeah.
This was my, I guess, my first initial thing as a live stream production.
Yeah.
Like where I did something that pertains to that, where he flew me out to his house in Virginia, and he has like his stream shack, his stream studio.
Yeah.
And basically we built a green screen room, and I set up mics, I set up cameras, I kind of redid his computer setup, and then that was my first time really kind of flexing my live streaming slash filmmaking muscle. Yeah, I guess maybe that was like the birth of Stream Sauce in my head. I don't know. Yeah, because in my head I was like, oh, like I wish I can do this for more streamers. Like
Yeah.
I want to be the guy to call to upgrade people's stream. You know? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like those YouTube videos where they like go into people's houses and then they like see their
Yeah,
their
yeah,
studios and stuff like that?
exactly. Yeah.
Whoa. You can critique them.
I mean, you know, who knows? Like, I mean, if there's any streamers out there, you guys want to upgrade
Tony
your stream.
rates your stream setup.
Yeah.
So how do you feel between like gaming content versus non-gaming content in the future of live streaming? So I mean, obviously Twitch was built upon gaming content, but I feel like gaming content, or well, non-gaming content has slowly eclipsed at this point almost as big as gaming content.
You think
on
so?
Twitch.
You think like non-gaming content's a little bit bigger than gaming
My
content?
honest opinion, I think non-gaming content is going to be bigger than gaming content because
Oh yeah.
gaming content is too niche. There's way more people who don't game than who do game, and so the non-gamers will relate to the non-gaming content more.
I think it's not. There's more. I think it's a lot easier to watch.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like still on Twitch, they can still pull big numbers for gaming content. You know, like especially
yeah.
if there's like a League of Legends championship, like they'll easily get like
Yeah.
200K. You know,
Especially for brand partnerships.
Yeah.
It's gaming is still
yeah.
where
I
it's
mean,
at,
but then again, like you could be right in a sense where it's gonna happen real soon. Because just yesterday, like Aiden Ross was like getting 100K viewers just on his IRL stream. 100K.
100K?
Yeah, like 100K. Like just what?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the boom mic is teabagging down. Oh, okay. Right here. It's fine.
It's okay.
But I think you're right in a sense where non-gaming related content is definitely gonna be a very big, a bigger thing than gaming content
Yeah.
on sites like Twitch, YouTube, maybe even Facebook. You know, you never
I don't
know.
know about Facebook. I don't know about Facebook. Some of the feedback that I have heard about the Instagram one was like, man, all these platforms are trying to cater to creators and everyone's hustling. Like, where's the platforms that we just want to chill? And everyone's like, let's go back to Facebook.
That's funny.
When's MySpace gonna come back? Where's my top 8?
That's so funny. Yeah, MySpace is gonna come back, dude. You know.
All the casuals want to come back. Damn. Okay, so Tony, are you doing any kind of any activity besides streaming, or like are you just doing your own streaming thing?
Yeah.
I know you did a mukbang recently.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
that?
I mean, like, you know, I try to just stream every now and then, just to
Okay.
hang out, have fun. Yeah. What I love about streaming is, it's the interaction.
Yeah.
You know, the instant feedback, cause I am an introvert, but I think I'm also an extrovert at heart. Cause
Really?
I love meeting new people. I love talking to people, and you know, I feel like through Twitch, I've met so many interesting and fun people. Like through that, you know,
Yeah.
like, man, TwitchCon, it's like it's like Disneyland for me. Like,
Really?
I love going to TwitchCon because it's just, I get to meet all my homies. I get to meet new people. I get to meet like people that love to game just like me, or love stream tech, You know, like you know, first time I met Gunrun, you know, we were talking for
Justin,
like
yeah.
a straight hour just about Stream Tech, you know, and I love geeking out about that kind of stuff, you know. So it was like, like these are my peoples. Like I
Yeah.
love meeting, and meeting the viewers too. Like I love interacting with like people who watch me. I'm like, that's so
Who's
crazy.
your biggest fan?
Uh,
Shamwise? Not Shamwise?
no, like you know, no. Shout out to Fananners. He is one of my viewers for a very long time,
okay.
and he's met me up at TwitchCon, and you know, it's so great to meet the people behind the usernames.
Yeah.
You know, it's so
That's
interesting.
my favorite thing about Twitch is being able to meet like new and interesting people.
Yeah.
There's something about Twitch that kind of like it connects people who would not have connected normally.
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting, like, weird sensation.
Yeah, and when I think about that, I think about my experience when I met Trick. Like,
from Virginia. Like,
yeah,
from Northern Virginia.
and like because of that interaction and me offering just me offering things
Yeah.
led to where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Like if that didn't happen, yeah, I wouldn't be here at all. You know, like if
That's
that
so crazy to think of.
if
Yeah.
that interaction never happened, there would be no Stream Sauce. No Stream Sauce, no Tony K films. Yeah, it's crazy. But I love streaming.
Yeah.
You know, I love watching other people stream. I love seeing their interaction with their chat, their setup.
Yeah.
I love the memes. I love people's emotes. Like, I check out all that shit. You know, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I want to go into the chat to see if you guys have any questions for Tony. If you guys have any questions, now is the time. I'll be looking into the chat, and if Tony, if you have any questions or if you see anything you want to answer, feel
Yeah.
free. While you guys think up of some questions, I wanted to bring up a topic that I think is pretty interesting, and I wanted to make a comparison between, for Twitch streamers, not just Twitch streamers, but like creators in general. How do you feel is the difference between person who's like a personality on Twitch versus someone who's not necessarily a personality and more so going on the production or tech side? Because there's many different faces that can be working within the Twitch realm, right? You don't necessarily have to be a streamer. You can be behind the camera and stuff like that. Because there's some people who they really want to try to make it as like a streamer or a creator, but maybe they might be lacking the personability or like the being able to make jokes, improvisation very well or anything like that. So they feel like they can provide in other ways, which could be like being a creative, being a mod, being making emotes or something like that. So how do you feel like where's the
What are you trying to ask? Sorry.
so it's like for one that's worked mostly in the production side of things, do you think that what's the difference between like a person who, like for me as I'm a personality, but I probably 50% I work on my production, and 50 is like kind of my personality. There's more people who are like they're more on the personality side, like for example, let's use Cook Sucks as an example, right? He's like heavily in his personality, and his tech is like is just this percentage of it. Where do you feel as someone who's like one that's on the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like I don't want to be a hustler, but I still want to be involved in Twitch? Like, where is their space in it? Do they have a way that they can break out?
Break out as a streamer?
Break out as a person in the streaming industry. There's a lot of people like Gunrun, for example.
Yeah.
He's one. He's not necessarily the biggest streamer out there.
I see.
But he's probably one of the most prolific, like, persons that was involved in Twitch. There's a ton of people who are like that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring this up because I feel like there's a lot of people in the chat who are involved with Twitch, but are not necessarily in that mode that they're gonna make their own channel.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Or try to further their careers within that space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But do they have like a path that they can go through?
Oh yeah, everyone has a path.
Yeah.
Everyone has a path. I think it's just really how far you want to take it, and how far you're willing to take it, how like where you want to take it, you know, because you know, like say, okay, let's just say a mod, you know,
Yeah.
you're a community leader,
Yeah.
in a sense. There's companies that hire community leaders to you know, to curate their chat, curate their community, lead community events, things like that. Or emo artists. You can do so much with that. You can be a graphic designer for a gaming company. You can be a graphic designer for a tech company. Like for me, my thing is there's a term that I learned in the filmmaking world is being a predator. Like you have, like if you want to stand out, you have to have a lot of, or this is just my opinion, having a lot of good set of different skills.
Uh-huh.
So like for me, being a director, DP, and editor, like all of that, you know, they're gonna someone's gonna hire me instead of hiring 3 separate people and having to like vet all of them, right? Where it's easier just to hire just one person, right?
True.
So like if you can be a mod and a graphic designer at the same time, you have a leg up than most people already.
Is
you know?
that a way for them to pay less?
I mean, you know what? At first,
Instead of paying 2 people, they just pay one
you know, at first it's gonna be like that. You know, like you're gonna have to put sweat into it in the beginning, because there's so much competition. You
Yeah.
know, like you have to stand out somehow, and really just. I know this is such a cliche thing to say, but. And it's not 100%, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. Especially in the entertainment world, you really have to be able to network and build relationships.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, those people that you want to get into the room with are going to remember you more, you know?
So would you say like your networking kind of saved you?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, and that's something I've built up even when I started DJing. You know,
Yeah, right.
I use DJing as a means to get into backstage, you know, and talk with other artists and promoters and managers. You know, even with filmmaking, I use my camera to get to where I needed to be, like in backstage, like certain, like just important places where normal people can't really go to, right? So, you know, I'm not saying go grab a camera and like fucking like just sneak in somewhere, but like have tools that you can offer to people, and build relationships from there.
What's your number one networking hack? And while you answer that, I'm gonna up the exposure on some of these.
Oh yeah. Networking hack.
What's
Uh,
your networking secret?
Don't be a jackass. Don't be a jackass. For real, like I've ran into so many people thinking that they're the shit, and that just kind of ruins everything, you know. Like first impressions are a big thing, you know. So and also having
Are you talking from like personal experience? Where
no,
some
I
guy
would,
was
I would
a
like,
good
I
peer?
would, like, I don't. I mean, I hope that I was never a jackass to people the first time I meet them, but yeah, like, and really doing your research beforehand on who these people are, who these companies are, you know, like really doing your research before you could you get into these rooms.
Was there a
or
time where you
places.
like pulled out a card and you were like hey, I know this about you, and it really impressed a company or a person or something like that? No.
I think let me try and think.
You're like, hey, Tiffany Young, my favorite song was G, and she was like, oh damn.
or are
I
you
don't know.
talking like people I already know?
I'm just joking. Yeah, whatever.
You know, I think I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, like you. Okay, so I met this producer named Scoop DeVille.
Is that Snoop Dogg's?
No,
Is it?
no. Oh, he did stuff for Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
he
okay.
did I Wanna Rock.
Yeah.
Like, I Wanna Rock right now. He did that
Ah.
track. And the two biggest tracks that he did was The Recipe with Kendrick Lamar and Dr. Dre,
Ah, okay.
and Poetic Justice with Drake and Kendrick.
Mhm.
So he had a show at Low End Theory. I was a fan of him, so I did my research on him. And that night, I went to go see him. And then I approached him. I was like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, I love your work, you know, much respect. If you ever need any video or photos, like, hit me up. I got you. I even gave him an eighth of weed. I was just like, if you ever need some weed,
And a
like,
business card.
I got you, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just super cool. And then like we smoked together and we're just kind of chopping it up. And then from there, we became like really good friends. And I hung out with them a lot. I mean, I think at one point I was like, we were hanging out like almost every week, just kind of like, I was just kind of like in the
Wow.
studio with them. He would bring me into like the big studio sessions. Like he was, you know, we'd go on creative trips together, and then at the time, that's when he produced those two songs,
Uh-huh.
and he got like a Grammy for it, you know, like, yeah, it was a trip.
It sounds like you were under the wing of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another like that's something I'm still working on too, is having mentors. Mentors is a very crucial part in building your brand, building your company.
Who's under your wing?
Under my
Do
wing,
you have anyone under your wing? Do you plan to have anyone under your wing?
I don't have anyone under
No?
my wing yet,
Oh,
but
dang.
I'm definitely open to it. If anyone, you know, if you guys want to be a PA for me, let me know. I'll teach you everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a couple comments in the chat.
Okay, go.
B Platinum says,
I know people that make pretty good money straight up running YouTube channels dedicated to clips for various streamers. That's true. And DJ Oz Kelly asks, Tony, as an upcoming streamer like myself, what do you think are the most top 3 things I will need to make my streams better and sound better? This is a tech question, I guess.
My goal is to have a nice DJ stream in my house.
Do you watch DJ streams?
I do.
Who's your top DJ streamer?
Right now, I watch like Four Color Zach. He's super dope. You should check him out. He does like wacky shit. Like I fucking love that guy. I watch like HMC, like I mean when HMC did their streams. I watch Just Incredible, DJ5. I mean when they were streaming, they're not really streaming too much anymore. Nudes. I was watching.
Nudes. I know Nudes, yeah.
Super Sam, Julian B, Just Style, Mish.
The thing I don't like about DJ streams is that I feel like they're not very engaging for the viewer.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to juggle that both because
Right.
you want to be able to show your DJing skills, and like you kind of have to like be
In the
very
chat too,
very intensely focused on doing that, or either just completely forget about that and just press play and play music and then just kind of talk to them,
Yeah.
So it's like kind of a balance.
You have to find
It's a
your-
balancing act.
Right.
And
Would you ever DJ on stream?
yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I'm definitely open to
Okay.
it. And then okay, so to answer your question,
Oh yeah. By the way, B
Cali.
Platinum is also a DJ and producer, although I haven't seen him stream.
so my top 3 advice is number 1 is let me move that a little. Okay, there we go. My top 3 advice is number 1 is consistency. Consistency is probably one of the most important things as a streamer, because the way you gotta view your channel is Twitch is like TV, and people will set time aside to watch your channel. So like, Simpsons, 8 p.m. every day, right? You make time to watch that. People are gonna make time to watch your stream. So having a consistent schedule is probably one of the biggest important things as a streamer
For growth.
for growth. Even if it's like an hour, even if it's a very short stream, at least it's consistent, right? And then you build from there. Second is watch other people stream. If you want to really cultivate your community, you have to be active in other people's community. I think that's just how I feel about it. Because this kind of pertains to advice number 1 is discoverability on Twitch is shit. It's complete shit, because you gotta understand there are probably tens of thousands of people streaming simultaneously on Twitch right now, and the average viewer is watching only about 2 streamers, because they spend probably 8 hours watching their top 2 favorite streamers,
Yeah.
and that's usually like XQC or fucking Hassan or
Yeah.
Aiden Ross or something,
The
right?
top percent.
Like the top percent.
Yeah.
So, and you gotta fight for that. And then my third advice is be active on your other social medias, because what you have to do is convert all of that to your Twitch account. So do Instagram, do TikTok, do Twitter, and try to bring people in from that. Build your social medias from that, because it's easier to build your social media presence on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and bring them over to Twitch instead of doing it the other way.
Right.
Yeah. And one bonus is just do research on gear. That's what I did. I've always just watched YouTubers talk about gear all day. So like you know, like learning how to light, you know, learning how to frame things. Like,
Oh, that's a
you
a
know.
good topic because okay, as a filmmaker, of the aspects of film, what would you say is the most important thing? Like, what's the biggest thing that will like flip the switch? It will change the way your video is, or something like that.
Sound.
Sound is the
Sound
number one.
is, I feel like, a lot of times sound is just as important, if not more important
Than the
than
video.
video. I would prioritize sound
Yeah.
over video if you're, you know, like buying gear.
Okay.
Because, you know, a lot of times people will just leave their stream on and not watch it. So why why pour in money into video stuff and have it not viewed when you could pour money into audio
Yeah.
gear and just sound nice and, you know, like you gotta think about it. Would you rather watch someone with nice sound and shitty video, or shitty sound and nice looking video?
Right.
Like, I'll definitely just watch. Like, for me, like,
Audio.
I would not be able to stand hearing shitty audio the whole time.
That's true.
So I would say audio is very important.
Yeah. Hey, we have Dumbfound Dead is in the chat too. Hey,
What,
somebody
Dumb?
mentioned Cam Girl.
Oh, hey, what's up, Dumb?
What's up?
Oh yeah, Cam. Shout out to Cam Girl.
Cam.
Maybe I can get Cam on here.
Yeah, I can ask her for you.
I know Cam too.
What does K in Tony K Films stand for? Kim? Yes. You got it.
24K.
I'm not Tony, but quality audio gear, a good camera, crowd interaction, presence, in my opinion, are top 3. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. It's hard to stick around on streams that don't have those. Exactly. This is great. I know. Okay. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free. How long has Tony been on Twitch? How long has he been partnered? I've been on Twitch. I mean, like, I was on Twitch before it was Twitch. You know, I was watching Justin TV here and there.
Same.
But then, like, when I really got involved, I guess, like, really, when I really got into Twitch was, damn near, like, 9-10 years ago, right? Like, and I didn't, like, my first stream was when I started, I think when I started working with Trick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he had, like, an extra computer there, like an extra room where I was staying in.
Was it always Tony K Films, or did you have like another?
Yeah, it was
screen
always
name?
Tony
It was
K
always
Films.
Tony
Yeah,
K
it was
Films.
always Tony K Films.
Dang, you
Yeah.
had it for a long time. You didn't have like an AOL screen name that you.
no,
hung on to?
no. I mean, before that, yeah, it was you know,
Embarrassing.
embarrassing other, like, screen names, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's when I was as a viewer, but as a streamer, yeah, maybe, wow, like 8 years ago when I first did my first stream. That's kind of when, like, also, no, not 8 years ago, a little bit more after that, maybe like maybe like 5-6 years ago, like 5-6 years ago. I
Gotcha.
tried a first stream. It was whatever's, and then, like, I got back into it. Like, I was interested because I started seeing IRL streaming.
Oh, really?
You know, that's when I was watching.
Jake.
No, before that.
Oh, him.
That
The
guy.
legend.
That guy.
Yeah.
If you guys know.
He here should not be named.
Honestly, he is the godfather of IRL.
True.
To me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Justin was, like, the first to really do IRL streaming.
Yeah.
You know, but the one who really
To put it at the level that it's known
yeah
today.
yeah, definitely him. And I used to watch him a lot. Like,
Dang.
and it was so interesting to see outside interaction with live streaming and the thought of like, oh, something's gonna happen, you
Yeah.
know, like that suspense. I loved. That's what got me into IRL streaming. Like, yeah.
Would you do IRL streaming yourself?
I have done it.
have?
I have done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
It's like, it was shitty, you know, but I have done it before. That's when I was like really trying to study the gear and the tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you want to learn that stuff, like, I mean, at least for me, I have to do those things to learn it.
Yeah.
I'm a like that's like I'm
You're a
a
visual
more
learner.
yeah I'm a visual learner, hands-on learner. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a couple more questions from the chat. DJ Oscali says, "What DJ equipment do you use? What was your favorite? Do you still have your Technicas?"
No, I had sold them.
Sold them?
Man,
Feel bad?
I regret selling them. I really do, because like, you know, because they held sentimental value,
Yeah.
because my aunt bought it for me, and also they stopped making those,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
they're, you know, they're basically antiques now, and I should have kept it, but you know, it's okay. You know, it was for when I needed the money to buy more camera
Camera gear.
gear. So, you know, it's a step for me. But
Yeah.
like I do one day want to, you know, buy some techniques again. And yeah, spinning vinyl is different, you know. That's my favorite DJ equipment would be the Techniques and the Rain TTM 57, magnetic faders. Oh man, yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Okay, my last question to you, Tony,
Yeah.
is if you were to give advice to someone who wants to, basically, from your experience of what you've done,
Yeah.
whether it be filmmaking, music, DJing, starting a company, especially, what is the advice that you would give someone who would go on that path? Is there one thing that's
Start small.
start small?
Start small. Start small. And
And network.
yeah, now I mean that comes with it, but like a lot of people, it's always like in their head, and you know, like, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I think for people like me, especially with like ADHD,
Yeah.
like when we think of those things, it gets very overwhelming because there's so much things to do. But my advice is to start small. Like, start at the very lowest you can and build,
build up.
up from there. Because you can talk about it all you want, you can think about it all you want, but if you're not physically doing what you need to get to your goal, then you're already failing.
That sounds
you
like
know?
a procrastination thing too. Like, not just start
For sure.
small, but start
For
now.
sure, for sure.
And as early as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's like kind of like working out, you know? Like, it's always going to be hard that first workout, but when you start it, you're going to get that dopamine rush, you're going to get that adrenaline rush, and it's going to be hard, but you're going to get stronger, you're going to build better.
Build
and-
momentum.
Yeah, build momentum. And also, like, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's something I still struggle with, because
I
like,
suck at asking for help.
yeah, you know, like, you know, we want to be self-sufficient in what we do, and you know, we're like, you know, I'm very cognizant of other people's time,
Yeah.
so like I don't want like waste other people's time, this and that, but you know, ask for help. You know, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes people might say no, and you gotta be okay with that. And yeah, being okay with the rejection. You know, yeah.
Would you say that being here in LA and especially being involved in the Koreatown scene, since I would say the community here is kind of more tight knit. I
Yeah.
feel like whenever I hang out with like one of you guys, it's like, oh, I know this person, blah, blah, blah. It's like the network is pretty tight knit.
Yeah.
Does that really help you as a creator? The fact that you know so many people.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
it's small.
I would definitely attribute a lot of my success to
Just being
knowing,
here.
yeah, just being here. You know, like, I would, yeah, a lot of things. I mean, a lot of opportunities wouldn't have come if I didn't live here. You know, like if I didn't know the people that I know. So, definitely, location is a factor, but it's not. It shouldn't be a deal breaker for people. Like just because you don't live in LA doesn't mean you can't network. You know, you have social media, you have like internet, then you could still network. You know, it just might be a little bit harder because you know you can't do face to face sometimes, or you might not have the resources to come out here back and forth to wherever you are, but you know, hard work trumps all, you know?
Hell yeah. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really enjoyed this talk, and
Yeah, I feel like since you're usually kind of behind the scenes,
Yeah.
you don't really get to come on and talk about your expertise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely learned a lot by talking to you.
I'm really happy with
Yeah.
that. Like if there's anything you took out,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, took
These are
from
gonna
that,
turn into
like,
TikTok clips.
oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna share them on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Like blow up your other social medias, you know?
All right, chat. If you guys don't have anything else left to say, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I want to thank you guys for coming again, and I want to thank Cafe MCO for letting us use their space. Also, thanks to Tony for making the time to come out to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's end this episode. And by the way, follow wherever you're watching this on, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube or another place that I'm syndicating this to that I haven't decided yet. And follow Tony K Films on all social media platforms, right? Unless you have one that's spelled in a different way.
Yeah, and also for me, we like Stream Sauce got some stuff in the works.
Oh yeah, you want to plug something?
Yeah, you know, even though our social is kind of empty, follow Stream Sauce at Stream Sauce. Follow me on my social medias at Tony K Films. Everything's Tony K Films. Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I make TikToks here and there sometimes.
Do you really? What's your TikToks
It's-
about?
Just
Food?
stupid
Stuff?
memes.
You do the dance? You renegade?
No, I do not renegade.
No renegade?
Not there yet. And also, yeah, just shout out to John for having me on. I love what you're doing. I love the tech behind. I wish I could show you guys all this, but this
We
is
can, kind of.
kind of. But no, I like.
Take a look.
It's great. Ooh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
look
We
at,
got-
look
we
at
got-
all
we got-
of this.
we got a little-
This is all the
ooh,
stuff
little light show.
that I put in. Oh, maybe I gotta turn up.
That's tight. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, they turned the lights on. That's so pretty. Yeah. All right, come here to Cafe MCO. It's a pretty place. Take a date or whatever. Thanks again, Tony. I think I'm gonna raid TJ Mish.
Oh, let's raid Mish. Hey guys, drop them emotes. Drop them emotes.
Yeah, it's like kind of full circle because she's a DJ and also she's doing IRL right now. So it's like, and she's a streamer too. So, and she does film too. I'm just kidding.
If any of you guys have questions, you know, I'm more than happy to answer them. Feel free to DM me. Yeah.
Yeah, your nudes. No,
Yeah.
he has a girlfriend. Actually, don't do
I
it.
am not. Yeah.
Unless it's a guy's
I'm not
nudes.
single. I'm not single. I think I saw. I saw somebody ask me that.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye. All right, now I have to figure out how to turn this off.
What, like the stream?
Yeah.